are rolling.
Got it.
Okay. Cool. We have Danny Schneider with us today, aka Mr. Hard Nine Choppers, our first motorbike athlete. Actually, in fact, our first racing athlete in general. Danny, who are you and what are you doing, man?
As you say, I'm Danny. I'm 47 years old, born and raised in Bern, Switzerland. Building bikes for the past 10 years, but used to be a pro motocross rider, then switched into freestyle motocross at the early age of freestyle motocross riding, like when nobody done it before. And that gave us kind of a huge success down here in Europe because the Americans just brought it over and we just kind of copy it at the beginning. And yeah, that's my background, riding bikes and now building bikes.
So actually. What age was you when you first started fucking around on a motorbike?
4 years old.
4. And what, with like a scrambler or like a little?
No, a little PV50 from Yamaha. It's like 50. My daughter has one now. She's 3.5. I put her a little set of extra wheels on it so she won't fall out. But she's wide open. She's riding like she never done anything else before in her life. It's crazy.
Yeah. So I mean, it's actually nice because we're friends, but I actually don't know much about also your career in motocross. I mean, you're still sponsored by Monster. You don't compete or anything anymore, right? So is that because of the statement that you made, or is it more like because of your current work situation with them, or like how comes you're still sponsored if you don't compete?
The fun fact is, while I used to ride motocross and freestyle motocross, I literally had no sponsors. I had the Etnies, the shoe brand, and some small sponsors. Yamaha supported me somehow, but I never really had like main sponsors like I have now, like Monster or GoPro or Indian or, because it was too early. I remember we did the first tricks, like Superman seat grabs and no for the cans and all, like the first tricks in freestyle motocross. And then a friend of mine, with the fucking old video camera, he taped this and then he put together a reel and we went to Red Bull Austria. So we went to the headquarters of Red Bull, to the main guy at Red Bull, and we're like, yo, what's up, we're doing crazy shit, look what we're doing. And we showed that video reel and he looked at it, it's like, look guys, it might look cool, but Red Bull will never ever sponsor any motorsports. And we're like, okay. And now look now, fucking Formula One, planes, everything, Yeah. So we were just way ahead of the time for Europe doing what we did back in the days in riding freestyle motocross. So there was no money. There was money around, but not for sponsoring a sport which people had no idea that it went so big in such a short time.
Right. So then let's say when you were actually competing in motocross itself, was you doing that just in Europe or was that in the US? And motocross is like the assault course, right? So you're doing it for time and you're racing all against each other.
Right. I'll do that only in Switzerland. I did a few races out in France, one in Spain, but mostly it was it's like a Swiss championship. But as we started doing racing, it was super serious. And then freestyle motocross came in, which allowed us to be more creative on the bike, be more creative on having tattoos, be more creative on being fucking lunatics, which was not the best thing to do. We were a bunch of guys, we just like go out, ride bikes. It was a lifestyle, a good lifestyle. It was crazy. It was death metal music. It was beers, it was fucking party. And then one day I went for a training session and my engine stopped on the ramp and I was like on 12 meters elevation and I fell down and I broke my ankle 18 times. And that was the career end, but it was career end within 5 minutes. I knew at the hospital I will never ride a bike again. I will never have a sponsor, a big sponsor again in my life. So it was kind of over. And now, when I look back, we had one guy, this is Matt Rebel. He's a Rebel athlete. He's from Payern. He used to be one of the best freestyle motocross riders in the world like 5-6 years ago. He's still super good. And he was the guy who went to bed at 8 o'clock eating a banana and drinking his shake. He went to bed, and we were partying, going fucking crazy. But he was the first out on the track, practicing all the tricks, you know, like, and he was fit and he was solid because he ate healthy, he worked out, he was all the time on a bike. And we took it a little bit, you know, you got chicks, you got money a little bit, you know, you feel like fucking 50 Cent at age of 18. And it's wrong, you know, you're like, I own the world. Yeah. Boom. No, you don't own the world. You know what I mean? It's just like, and that was a super wake up call. It was difficult, you know, if you perform in front of thousands of people and they all think you're the shit, then it's very difficult. You go from hero to zero within nothing, and nobody, literally nobody gives a shit who you are, what you have done, or what you're going to do in your life. You're just out.
So how old was you then when you had this career-ending injury?
21.
Oh. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Man, your world turned upside down real quick.
Oh, yeah, fuck. And I couldn't walk. I have a stiff foot. I have a chronic bone infection. They didn't do the surgery right in France. So after that, I couldn't really run. I walk in the morning when I wake up. I walk like a fucking pirate with a wooden leg until I warm up a little bit. You know, I couldn't really work out proper. I knew by fact I will never, ever be able to step on a motocross bike again, which I did later on, just to prove myself that I could still do it. But if I would still crash on that same foot, I was that close that they took that foot off.
Oh,
so I'd be lucky having my foot still, you know. But from then on, I'm like super handicapped on literally everything. You know, I can't really run. I can't do squats. You know, it's just like, and it hurts all the time, especially now in winter when it's getting cold. It just hurts every fucking time. You know, you get used to it after 20, 25 years, but it's still a pain you're still going through all the time. And, you know, it reminds of stuff like that. Yeah.
Move to fucking Florida. What the hell are you doing in Swiss?
Exactly. Just because of my foot. Fuck yeah. I'm gonna fuck this conversation. I'm on a plane in a minute, man. Jeez.
So you make bikes now?
Yeah. So after that crash, like we have an insurance called, it's for invalids. If you can't work, they pay you. So they wanted to pay me $200,000 to set me up for a new job, like an office job or whatever. So I rejected that money. I was like, I don't want that money. And I was thinking, I still want to do something with bikes. I mean, I want to still ride, so I have to ride on the street. If I'll get a street bike, I'll be dead in an hour because I will pull wheelies with 300 miles an hour on the highway, which would be good. So I decided to do like a little chopper, but with my touch of it, you know. And this is how I started it. I mean, I could not weld. I had no idea how to take a bike apart and to put it back together. I had no fucking clue. And I rented a little shop outside of Bern. And in the meanwhile, I was like working as, you know, on the truck where you collect the trash. I was a detective for like half a year, but I only wanted to be detective to pull chicks, because if you have your business card saying Detective Danny, sounds pretty fucking cool. So, but then good thing is, they had a case in Germany where they gave the pigs medicine that they grow faster, so they could kill them faster, so they get more meat, right? And then the same thing happened in Switzerland, and they put me on that case. So I was all over Switzerland, the French part in Switzerland and in France, on like huge pig farms to kind of break in and search for medicine and like evidences of shit like that. And it was kind of fun. Yeah, it was crazy, dude. Once I opened the freezer, and they were all dead pigs in it, and then people came actually, and I was hiding between 500 pigs, like on my fucking knees, like a rabbit. And then I grabbed two trash bags on my way out, put it in a car, drove away. and these 2 trash bags were packed with medicine, which was not legal to use on pigs in Switzerland. There's a magazine called Facts. It's a big print magazine for like real estate, politics, like fucking like all the lawyers, all these people. And I was on the cover holding like one of these illegal substances. So I was like, yeah. But then I did not pull any chicks. So the only thing I did, I was covering in fucking pig shit and had the cover of Facts magazine. So I left being a detective, and then I was construction worker. I fucking worked at my dad's shop. Sorry, I didn't and now I'm a teacher for difficult to educate kids. So this is what I'm doing now. I never really could live off my bike building business till now. So I always work kind of 2 jobs, So yeah, fuck being a detective, man. It sounds so cool. I'm like, I was like, I went to the agencies, like, what do you need, to be a detective? It was like, nothing. You can be a detective now. I was like, fuck yes. And I'll make my own business cards, as stupid as I was like, and no chick asked me what you're doing. I was like, I'm detective. Oh, all right. And she walked away. It's like, Jesus. I mean, look at fucking Miami Vice, dude. They pull chicks. I'm like, fuck. Yeah, well, it was good experience, It's like,
motherfucker went from motocross to inspecting pig shit for chicks.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Story of my fucking life right there, dude. Jeez. But well, it was worth a try, and fuck yeah, I mean, that was it.
So as I was listening to that story, I'm like, yo, we missed something. No, we missed nothing. We
missed nothing. we could finish this talk right now. It would be good. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, my downfall from Freestyle Motocross Pro to hide in pig shit on a farm in France. So, you know what I mean? Wow. Nice career, Danny.
Well, at least you was a good getaway driver. I bet as soon as you were in the car or on the bike, you ain't got to worry about getting caught. But up to that point, it must have been shit scary.
Yeah, it was for sure.
My fucking face hurts.
I know. It's just like every time I tell that story, people are like, "What the fuck, dude? Why detective?" And then pull chicks, they're like, "Okay, yeah, all right, well."
Pull chicks.
So
now you're making bikes. That's your what kind of bikes are you making?
I started out, like, as I said, like really super humble with like I just modified a gas tank, blah blah blah. And then I've built this 10 years ago. I've built a bike called DMX, and I built it like, maybe you remember the old Redline BMX, like the vintage Redline BMX you always have. And I kind of want to have a 1942 Harley in that retro BMX look. So, and I built it.
Brooker, load it up.
I'm looking for it right now.
You will fucking love
How
it.
How far that? Oh, it's the red one, right?
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
Detective.
Hang on.
Got it.
Detective.
Yeah, screw it.
Detective got it.
Like this one here, right?
Oh, fuck out of here.
Yeah. No. That's the Indian. That was
further down.
Yeah, that dude, it says 1932 Indian Scout 101. He said a fucking Harley, dickhead.
It's
exactly.
Scroll down and down. Fuck, I don't even know.
This one?
Photo of that. No.
Some of these are beautiful, though, man.
This is a cool style you came up with, man.
Thank you. Yeah, I always was building against everybody else, and it was not always easy. I earned a lot of shit, from the old school. No, not this one. from the old school bikers because they said like, a chopper has to look like this, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And I just didn't give a fuck. I just built whatever I felt like. And I was successful doing it, So
this one.
Nope. Fuck.
Bro, you've done a lot of these.
You've done a lot of custom bikes, man.
No. It's always the same bikes. I did like 7 or 8.
Okay.
Main ones. Fuck, where is it, dude? Jesus.
This one.
This one. One below. No, one below.
Oh, here you go. Right.
That's interesting.
Not that bad. See, that's interesting. This is what I heard a lot.
Yeah. But what's fucked is interesting is a non-word. It doesn't describe fucking anything.
Yeah, and I wheelied that one on pegs on the rear, and I wheelied it with a foot clutch, no brake, no back brake.
How much horsepower does this motherfucker have?
Huh? Nothing. It's a 750 flathead. They had these bikes in the U.S. Army, 1942. So it was like a army bike, and then they came back from after the war, and they were all over Europe, in France, in Poland, in Russia. So it was like people start collecting them, and I got my hand on one super cheap one. And I thought the frame and the fork and the engine, it's super slim. It could look like it would be the closest frame or base to that BMX style of bike I want to do.
Yeah. How fast could this go?
Like 80 miles.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, that's it. Small engine.
Well, 750 isn't that small of an engine. Why? But the Sportster's what? An 880 or some shit?
Yeah. But the Sportster is like made now, and this one was made 1942. So
true.
It's just like it's just old school machinery and technique and everything. But it was fun bike though. And then actually, I won the qualifier for the World Champs, and I went to Sturgis and I finished 3rd at the World Champs. And then I had no money to bring the bike back. And then Kelly Nishimoto was her name, came up to me somehow, maybe because she knew I'm a detective. So she said like she's hosting at the LA Fashion Week, she's hosting like a show with Eddie Murphy and his daughter, and they're looking for a raffle to fight breast cancer. And I was like, fuck, that's a good idea. So I raffled that bike, and all the money went to the Fighting Breast Cancer League, and I left without bike. That was like my first bike, and I mean that bike was worth 70,000 easy, and I just gave it away because I had no money to ship it back. So I was like, at least I'm doing something good, and I can, maybe save a life or help people. So that was like my intention to give that away there. Yeah.
So yeah, that's some of those bikes can go for a lot of money, eh? Like those custom.
Oh, yeah.
So how much would it originally have costed you to get the old bike and stuff? Like what's the initial investment?
Back in the days when I bought that bike, I got it for like $6,000 running. And now, because everybody wants the vintage bikes, now like the same base I've bought 10 years ago will be a running flathead from 1942 is around 42,000.
Yeah.
It's like 10 times the value it had 10 years ago,
I'm looking at this one Harley that you did right now, the XLCR. Did you turn that into a cafe racer, or is that?
Yeah, flat track a little bit.
Yeah, dude.
You know the XLCR?
I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, this is
okay because you do know the story about the XLCR?
I don't. Tell me.
Fucking one of the Harley Davidson kids said, "Hey, I will like design a bike which will blow everybody's mind." And he made in the late 70s, like 76, he made kind of a coffee racer bike, little fairing kind of Harley bike. And they sold like 2 out of 500. So it was not good at all. And they were all shipped and bought to Europe, blah, blah, blah. Now, an original one of these, which nobody wanted to buy 15 years ago, is worth 80,000.
Yep.
And I had a customer, he had 2 of them. And he said like, hey, I want to keep one original, but I want you to build one. And I got the chance to build this flat tracker, but I started it, and then I got the cancer diagnosis, and I had to put it on ice. And after chemo, I came back and finished it. I had like 4 weeks to finish it. I was invited back to Verona to one of the biggest bike shows in the world. So I came out of chemo after 3 months of high-dose chemo. I went to the shop and finished that bike within 4 weeks, and I was fucking ready in Verona to fucking present it. And it was a huge moment for me because I couldn't do anything for a year and a half. So I was like psyched that I could finish it after all that. So that bike has a special meaning to me. It's just like, it was mentally good to work, to be back at the shop, to do something, and then be able to finish it on time and to represent.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. When I look at this stuff, are all these custom parts? So did you make all these parts yourself?
The only thing who's original is the frame and the engine. That's it. The rest is all handmade, from pipes, exhaust.
Incredible. That is
it's all
incredible.
It's all hand hammered out of aluminum, and like, dude, it's hours and hours and hours. You can't even like calculate all the hours. Then the bike will be fucking, I don't know, 150 grand something, you know.
Bro, that's so cool. I have a Harley. Brooker, I got a Harley before you. Did I get a bike before you?
Yeah, you got the bike as a wedding gift.
Yeah, so I have a Harley.
Jeez.
Yeah, well, it's a divorce gift now.
Right. Yes.
But
still a gift, right?
So I do all the work on it myself. I do everything on it myself. Harleys are simple.
Cool.
I fucking, you know, like there's barely any electrical work involved in it. I what is it, like a 07 Sportster or something? And I love doing it all myself. But I don't know how to weld. I want to learn how to weld. But you know, learning how to weld on something that you're going to be fucking cruising on might be a poor idea to learn. But
that's easy.
Yeah. but making your own parts, bro, that is so fucking romantic that you fucking did that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
This is so cool. You guys, everyone listening, you need to check out this fucking Instagram page. It's Hard9 Choppers, at Hard9 Choppers. It is fucking awesome. I love looking at this shit. Brooker, I just texted you the picture of the bike we were just talking about. Scroll down a little bit. Just scroll down. Scroll down. It is, I mean, this stuff is so fucking great. I love all this. This is what I would do to relax.
So much. Thanks a lot, man. Yeah, this is what I do to relax.
Yep.
I love my job. I love the work. I love to be creative, and that's the best I can do, you know? It's like,
yeah, and I mean, dude, and you stop there.
Yeah.
Number 15.
Yeah,
number 15 right there.
Yeah, this is badass, huh? Look
but these are all the fucking hipsters are riding these now in like fucking Brooklyn and shit. Like it's
exactly.
Yeah, they're so popular now, and it's bro, I love this shit. I wish I did more of it, but in New Jersey, we're the most densely populated state, and I'm right outside of New York City. So I've been hit on my bike already. I got hit up on my bike at a stop sign. Like I was at a complete stop and some motherfucker hit me. So it's just
really? Jesus.
Yeah, it's so tough to ride around here. I haven't rode my bike in a while. And I love this shit. I absolutely loved it. It's so cool.
I mean, I've built 2 flat trackers 10 years ago, Triumph full ones, but they were flat trackers. And the only thing I got was shitstorm from the whole fucking road. Fuck you, fuck flat trackers. This is bullshit. Fuck you, blah blah blah.
Why?
Blah blah blah. Because I was always ahead of time somehow in building bikes. People were like, oh, fuck you, flat track. And like 3 years ago, the whole Super Hooligan flat track series started. Indian built the flat track FTR. Harley comes with the new sport shoe, looks like a flat track. And now it's just like, as you said, the hipster thing, they're all on fucking flat trackers. But the same people who gave me shit 6 years ago, they're riding a flat tracker now.
Fucking wieners.
Exactly. So yeah. So it's all right. You know,
this
I just never been
Go on.
I just never been recognized for what I'm doing. I was always criticized of what I'm doing because sometimes out of jealousy, sometimes because they didn't realize what I'm really capable of and what I built. But I had always a lot of success with every bike. And then after the third bike, I mean, I've been invited with the BMX bike to Japan, to all over Europe, to the States, to Sturgis, to everywhere. That was the most covered bike in bike magazine history. It had over 48 covers worldwide.
Crazy.
And of course, people are getting they built bikes for 20 years and they never had one cover. And then I kept building better and better bikes. And after the third bike, I was like, fuck, how am I ever going to top this shit? I already had a hard time to top the first and the second one. So I was kind of putting stones in my own way in building very cool and unique pieces that I was scared, fuck, I can't really top this one because it's good and it's very good and it's unique and it's different. So I was like, fuck, hours and hours of thinking, woke up at 2 a.m, went to the shop, built some parts I just had in my head, etc., etc. And then, as I said, the XLCR was like, what? I mean, it's a historical bike. Actually, nobody wanted to buy, but now it's like in every museum, and there's only 500 pieces. Like, fuck, you can't fuck this up. You know, you need to get something out of the bike, which is absolutely mind blowing, and that was the biggest challenge for sure.
Yeah, I mean, this is so cool. Looking through your style. I mean, you have a unique look, and a unique outlook on what you want these fucking bikes to be. And you could see, I mean, your style is in every single one of these bikes. Like there still is that like same theme to it. It's really cool, bro. This is
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, this is like, it's just, I wish I could do it 100%, and I wish I could do more. I think maybe if I would do more, I think I would lose some ideas I have now because I'm not being in the shop 100%. I mean, if you have a project over 1 year and you look at it on a daily basis, you lose it. You don't see little details anymore. This is why sometimes I called my mom. I was like, hey, come to the shop. It's like, oh, why? Like, look at the bike. What do you like? What do you don't like? Or what do you dislike? And she's like, I don't like the color, or I don't like the gas tank, you know. And then you look at it again, it's like, fuck, she's right, you know. But you're so caught in every day what it's looked like that you'll kind of lose it, you know. So yeah.
How long does it take you to build a custom bike?
Depending. Normally it's from 4 to 9 months, depending on what. Like the DMX, I had like 4 months. The XLCR, because of cancer, it took me a little bit longer, but altogether I had like almost a year, because the customer came by and said like, I made the gas tank. It's like, I don't like the gas tank, make a new one. And these are 300 working hours of gas tank. So they're like, okay. But he was paying for
100 hours for the gas tank.
Yeah, for a gas tank, yeah.
Wow.
You look at these things are
sure.
They weren't banged out. You know what I mean? Like these are fucking perfect. Like you make I can't imagine the detail.
Well, I'm a detail worker. I'm like fucking, the start bottom is underneath the frame. It's just a little button like that. It just push and start. It has so many little hidden things. I'll do all the screws. I wire lock them like you have them on the planes. You drill little holes into the nut, and then you pull a special wire and you put it on another one, so you wire lock it so it can't loosen up. You know, normal people use Loctite. Fuck it. Loctite, go. I'll wire lock the whole shit. So I wire lock for a fucking week straight. And it's not recognized. People are like, oh, where's their wire on the bolt? So they don't know shit. It's like, the customer doesn't know what it is. People don't know what it is. Even if you go to the world champs, they don't know shit what it is. You know, they look at the paint shop, go like, oh, why isn't it metal flake? Why is it blue and white? It fucking sucks. So that's the bike world. This is why I'm not doing shows or world champs anymore. I'm just building and riding, basically.
So say the shows, when you get invited to those, are they trying then to like just get people to look and like increase the hype about the bikes, or is that also a good time? Can you try and sell the bike, or are you not even allowed to discuss stuff like that. Because I guess, I mean, if you can go around the world with one of these bike expos, you must be able to then auction it off and try and haggle with different guys and get a pretty decent price for it, no?
It's a very, very good question. The thing is, when I got invited to Japan for the first time with a DMX bike, I mean, it was massive. And then I came back, and then Verona invited me, then Rome invited me, then I went to Poland, then I went to France, then I went to England, then I went to Sweden. I've been fucking everywhere. And then this bike had, as I said, it had over 25 million pages only in Europe in Bike Max. That's a lot of fucking press. But happened out of that? Nothing. Like in 10 years, every bike I've built had at least 10 to 20 covers worldwide. I did not get one job out of this. No.
Yep. Crazy.
Yeah, dude.
But do you predict though in 10 years, then it will get more recognition and the price of it will go up? Are you just too far ahead, or is it just the market it's not how I think it is?
Both. I was too far ahead. And the market in Switzerland is weird because, like, Swiss people have a lot of money, but they go to the local Harley dealer and they buy a bike for 50K at a local Harley dealer. Then they put chrome pipes on it, fancy fucking leather vest, fancy leather boots, and they leave the shop spending 60, 70 grand. So then the guy drives to the fucking bike show or to like whatever on the street, thinks he's fucking unique, and then he sees 40 same bikes lined up in front of a restaurant, and he's like, what the fuck? But I think the Swiss guy wants the security of, if it's from a dealer, it must be good.
Yeah.
Right.
You know? If it's handmade by a guy who's not even a mechanic, it can't be good. Even all my bikes are street legal. So if you get a bike street legal in Switzerland, your bike and everything, engineering, statics, everything has to be 100%, or you cannot make it street legal. So it's actually safer what I built than what's coming out stock from whatever brand it is. Well, if it's Harley, if it's Yamaha or Honda, fuck. I mean, you can't deny they're super bikes, but it's like all it goes to custom or like Harley Sports and stuff like that. I mean, you see it on your Sportster. I mean, you have a single brake disc with a 2 caliper brake cylinder. That shit won't break a 400 kilo bike.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then the brakes itself on the XLCR, only the brakes, they're custom made for this bike. They're 22,000. Only 2 levers, 1 lever, 2 calipers, and 3 brake discs are 22,000. Just this. But that shit breaks. I mean, if you hit the brakes, you fucking do a front flip. So it's safe. You know, it's like high quality. This is like, it's better than stock. You know, I would say it that way.
How the hell did you learn all of this? This is intense attention to detail. Like, so, I mean, it's not just the mechanics, the engineering, the how things are working. Like that to me is incredible. Could you build an engine from scratch if you wanted to?
By now, yes.
So cool.
But it's just like, I mean, still, if when I built the 1931 Indian, I never had an Indian, and I was like, rebuilt the engine, I had no fucking clue. But there are manuals, there are people you can ask. It's just a lot of time effort to make it happen. But I rather try to do it myself than I call a guy and say like, hey, I pay you $500, fix the engine for me. You know, so I will always want to learn, I want to progress, I want to grow in what I'm doing. Still with welding. I mean, I weld for 10 years, but I'm not the best welder. So I'll try to weld all my shit myself. I try to wire all my bikes. Even wiring for me, like electronic thing, is a pain in the ass. And after 20 minutes, I'll go fucking mental and call my friends like, dude, you need to come to the shop and wire that fucking bike, because I will kill myself, because it makes me so crazy, because I cannot see where the electricity goes and where it's coming back. I just can't. And I gave that fight up. So he's doing the electronics on every bike. So I was like, fuck no, it's too much stress.
What electronics are you doing in your bikes?
Everything. I mean, you know, the new bikes, when you have like indicators, you have start stop, you have like fucking alarm, you have everything. It's like that thick cable going through the whole bike. But even wiring a 1931 Harley, which has a battery, an alternator, a headlight, a taillight. That's it. I could not see how it goes. You know what I mean? So I will never learn it. It's just like, I think it's just something, but I still give it a go every time. Every time I'll give it a fucking go. I'll take the 15 or 20 or 30 minutes. I mean, when I had my FXR, the green one, you know, which I did wheelie and all that shit, I wanted to change the bars, and there was like one tube with wiring in it. I was like, you know what, fuck it, cut it and put it back together. So as soon as I cut it, there were like 4 yellow cables, 3 purple ones, and 2 black ones. So like, fuck, which one? Normally you have a black, a red, a green, and a yellow, so you know where the fuck it's going. I was sitting there, I was like, really? So I tried as good as I could to fucking, you know, put them together. Then bike starts, fucking amazing. Light was not burning, fuck. Then I switched it. Then indicator were not working. Then it was constantly horny. It was, I could not fucking get it. So I got to call my friend. I was like, dude, come here. And he literally did it in like 2 minutes, because he knows where this fucking wire goes from the headlight on the plus and the battery. This one goes here. So it's just like, if you don't learn it proper, you will never understand.
Yeah, and I guess also it's exposure, right? Like I'm sure if you can get on anyone's bike and you drive it just for a minute or two, you know something's off here, or just from the sounds, the vibrations, and different stuff like that, right?
By now, yeah.
What's your favorite? What's your favorite bike? I mean, you love that green one. What's that? The FXR? That's the one you do most of your videos with now, right? Is that your favorite bike?
That used to be my favorite bike. At that time, I had a sponsorship by Harley Davidson.
Yep.
And then last year, I've asked that if they want to redo the contract. And like, I talked to 11 guys in 11 countries for 9 months. And at the end, the main guy in the States say, oh, talk to whoever the fuck his name was, Niels. And that was the guy I started talking eight months ago. So I was like, no.
Brooker, load that one up.
I just asked for it, but
I said, Brooker, load that one up. I'm colorblind. I can't see which one it is.
It's this one here, right?
Yeah, the wheelie one is the FXR. This one right here. That's all of that.
Yeah. This one here, the one that he's like arse is on the floor with when he goes around a corner.
Exactly, yeah.
And you made this one.
Well, yeah, that's a small build. I just, you know, changed gas tank fairing.
Okay.
Put solid suspension on it, stuff like that. You know, it's not a full-on custom build. It took me quite a while, but it's not a full-on custom bike at all. It's just like dialing the bike for my riding style. You know.
You know, going through your Instagram you've got some sick videos here of you doing some really fucking crazy shit, but the best ones you have are the ones with you and your little daughter, man, because she loves it, huh? She absolutely loves it. I mean, there's a couple here. I mean, also even just these pictures here. I mean, her having the time of her life. Are you that? Is it like so second nature for you? Is it like literally an extension of your body that, you know, you're not concerned? Will you go on normal roads with her, or is this all on like private roads?
No, this is like private road. Yeah,
right.
Private road. But I mean, a lot of people gave me attitude for it, which I understand somehow. But then you see other kids sitting on a horse with no helmet and no protecting vest, and nobody who's like guiding the horse who has any idea. And that is actually more dangerous, because it's an animal. You don't know how the horse reacts. Nobody knows. I've been riding bikes for 4 years. It's calculated risk. I know what the fuck I'm doing. And I'm sitting with my 2-year-old daughter on the bike. So I know what the fuck I'm doing.
Sure.
I will not risk a fucking thing that something could happen. You know what I mean? And then she comes up, it's like, wheelie, wheelie, wheelie. It was like, oh, no, wheelie. You know what I mean? It was like, yeah. And, you know, she has fun. And as long as she's having fun, it's cool. And maybe one day she will say, motorcycles suck. I want to fucking ride horses or I want to, I don't know. And then I'll go for that. You know, I don't, just because I was into motocross and all that, she doesn't need to ride bikes or bicycles. It's as long as she has fun doing it, I'll support her. And whenever she decides to do something else, then we do something else, you know.
No, I hear you. What's the gnarliest trick you've ever pulled? Or what's the like, I want to know what for you, because when I look at some of this stuff, it all looks mad. But of course, like on the scale, you know, as being the pro, like some bits are more dangerous than others. What's the gnarliest thing you've done? Because I mean, even you skidding in the snow, riding around the mountains in the snow and shit, that's crazy.
That was the gnarliest thing I've done, to jump a 400-kilo Harley over a 25-meter step-up gap in the snow. That was at age 47. I was like,
wait,
why the fuck I have to do that? And I had to do that because I needed to feel alive after all the chemo and cancer shit. So I was like, it's possible. And I pulled that one off, broke the swing arm. Fuck, bike was wrecked. But I pulled it off and rode away. So it's like, yeah.
Is there a video of this, Danny, as well?
The thing is, there's one video you can see from underneath.
This one.
No, that's just a turn. It was like test riding the tires. I think there should be one.
Oh, here.
No, that's on the on
the T-bar.
Exactly. When you're out of gas, it should
this
be
one?
Somewhere. Yes, this one. You don't see it really good, but yeah.
Right.
Because the thing was, I was all by myself up in the mountains to test ride.
Yeah.
So we had helicopter coming. We had a whole photo team coming. They were all ready to go. I was like, let me jump it first, because I'll prefer to do that by myself and not have too much attention. I always did that in the motocross too. Like first big jumps, I just wanted to be myself and just fucking go. And I was like, let me clear that gap, and then I call you, and the guys will be here within an hour, and the helicopter as well. So we were like ready to go. So I put like 5 GoPros around it, that something would happen. I put the cell phone in my motocross boots. If I flipped, you never know if the bike goes like this, or you don't know what's happening. It's never been done before. So I cleared it, and here like bam, cracking, and I drove down to that little Alp cabin, and I saw the swing arm was broke. So the rear shovel touched the fender, so I couldn't ride anymore. So I had to call everything off. That one jump. And at that time, I knew the speed, I knew the line, I knew fucking everything. I was like, you're not scared anymore. You're like, you cleared it, you know what to do. And then then from that moment on, you can enjoy it. And I was like, fuck, let's go. I wanted to go again just for myself a couple more times. I wanted to fucking whip it. And then I saw the damage. I was like, "Fuck, okay, we can fucking fix that within an hour." So we called it off. It was kind of a bummer, but by the end of the day, I set a goal and I achieved it. And it's not a goal to fucking be detective. It's like a real thing. You know what I mean?
You said you needed to feel alive again after all the cancer. I mean, do you want to go into that? Because that's another fascinating part to you.
Sure, yeah.
What's been your cancer journey? What type of cancer? Where are you now with it?
I got a bigger ball. You feel it, and then you Google it, and it says maybe you jumped on the Harley in the snow, maybe that's why your ball is a little bit bigger, shit like that. So I'm not running to the doctor for every little scratch. I never did. And I'm always been super healthy and always been working out and always be eating proper. So after 2 months, it got bigger and bigger. It didn't even hurt. And it's all like to the doctor. And my daughter was 2 months old at that time. And then she's just like, ultrasound, she's like, yeah, you got cancer. And you're like, what the fuck? What did you just say? Like, yeah, you got cancer. And then the fucking world looks around and you go like, what is happening? Do I die? Do I have to go to chemo? What's happening next? And then they said like, yeah, we gotta do surgery and take that ball off, and then we will figure. So I did that, and then I had to go to check my blood for the tumor marker every 3 months. and it was good, and it was good, and it was good. And after a year, you feel safe after a year, because normally testicular cancer is super easy to heal. And then I was like, fuck, I'm safe. Just one ball, I'm cool with it, but I'm healthy. And after a year, she called me and was like, hey, it's not good. We found cancer cells in your body. And it was 1 week before my birthday. And then I went to the hospital, and like the main guy said, oh, look, dude, we got to do a chemo now. And I was like, dude, it's in 1 week is my birthday. Can I? It's like, yeah, you can, but I would not suggest it to you. So after that talk, a day later, I came to the hospital, did lung tests, liver tests, all the tests, laying in the fucking hospital. Then they roll in the whole fucking chemo. This is like 8 liters of chemotherapy, and I fucking plug it in, and you don't know what's gonna happen. Am I gonna throw up? Am I gonna gain 20 pounds? Am I gonna shit my pants? You have no fucking clue. What you hear is you will lose weight, you will lose your teeth, you will throw up every day, you will shit your pants, you can't sleep, you'll have fever, you have to get food over your veins, and that scares the shit out of you. And then I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I want to create my own chemotherapy. So I was laying there, I was like, okay, actually, it's a good thing because they can actually heal me. So I accepted the chemo as something good and not as something bad. You know what I mean? And the first week, I did push-ups, I did like footwork thing at a hospital floor with fucking chemo plugged in. And then, I always have short hair. I was joking. I was like, it won't bother me if I lose hair, but then you can fucking just take the hairs out like that. And then you realize that chemo is kicking in and that you start to look sick. And I gained a lot of weight. I had like fucking red dots all over my body. You smell like shit. You gain a lot of weight. You don't feel good. You're tired. And then at that point, I was like, okay, now chemo is kicking in, and I could still kind of manage it to see the good in it and not the bad. It's difficult. You have a girlfriend and you want to stay attractive for her, but you don't, and you smell like shit. It's super fucking difficult, And the most difficult part was my daughter, because I couldn't see her much doing chemo, and like, every time I got out of the hospital, I took her to our Alp cabin, and I was literally with 40 degrees of fever, fucking puffy as fuck. I couldn't breathe. I did like 2-mile hikes with her on my back, just because I want to be here for her, and I don't want her to do less with her dad just because I'm going through chemo. And then the other hand, it was mentally very good for me. It kind of forced me to go out in the rain and in the cold. And little girl was laughing on the top, and that made my chemo fucking, I could say perfect, not like perfect, but it made my chemo good. And then after chemo, 6 months later, they found again a lymph node on my, like the main, how's it called? Or the main thing where it pumps the blood.
Yeah, the vein.
Yeah, the vein. And then exactly. Then they opened the whole fucking body. It's like the most dangerous belly surgery you can have. It takes 7 hours. You can be deaf. You can be paralyzed. You can't have an erection anymore. You can't, like, fucking ton of shit. There are photos on my Instagram as well from that surgery. And it was mental. Like, and after 3 days after that surgery, I left the hospital. But the doctor was actually a friend of mine. He's like, dude, people who have like belly problems don't leave the hospital after 3 days. He had the heaviest, most dangerous surgery in your belly, and you leave after 3 days. And the first thing you do, you lift up your girl and fucking dance around. You're a fucking lunatic. But it's just like, that's after the surgery. More.
Fucking staples. I fucking hate the staples.
Yeah.
Go down?
I think go up. No, I think go up. I think I posted that recently. Like, it's the blurry one where you can have to put on to, because it says like sensitive content.
Oh, here.
There we go.
C4. Oh.
So you actually see through the whole belly onto my backbones.
Oh, yeah, okay, fuck. Crazy. There you go. Yeah, it took me a second just to get my bearings. Then I was like, yeah, okay, crazy.
Yeah, and we'll go on. Yeah, that's chemo. That was the first day of chemo.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, I mean.
And so, where are you now, though? So what's the? Where are you now in the process?
I had like a month ago. I had the 2-year checkup. They check fucking everything, and that was good, which will lower the risk to get in again, like 60 or 70%, which is amazing. I mean, fuck, it was the best day of my life. But you're stuck with cancer. Like my shrink, who talked a little bit about cancer, he said it's like when you ride your car and you crash into a sea, and you're in your car caught, and the water level fills up, and you just could breathe like this, and you think you die, and then somebody pulls you off. You have like 3 to 5 years that you can live with it, because it's like a death fear.
Sure.
And cancer is the same thing, but it will just stay forever with you. It will not let you go. Like that, this being scared that you die because of cancer it will always be in your head, and you will never be 100% sure that cancer will not come back.
Yeah. Sure. But how does that then change your perspective? Does it help you be a bit more grateful for the day-to-day, for the things that you might otherwise sort of overlook, or is it still just sort of crippling fear?
I've been raised by my parents to appreciate the little things. Like a year ago, I found in November a strawberry in my backyard, and it was the best day of my fucking life. Because, yeah, you find a strawberry which should not grow in November. And I was like, fuck, it's an amazing day. I just found a strawberry. I'm happy with little things. The only concern, like, I really have is my daughter. I don't want that my daughter has to grow up without a dad. And because we're so tight, as you can see on socials as well, especially through cancer. She was like the rock, and she was the one gave me energy and guided me through chemo good. And then I wanted to fucking survive, and I wanted to be alive for her. And still the same thing. It's not about me. It's not about me, whoever. It's about my daughter. And for her, I'll fucking do anything just to stay here. You know, I don't need money. Of course I need it, but it's just like, that is my main point of living it's my daughter, that she doesn't have to grow up without a dad. Sounds kind of weird, but it's a major point now, for sure.
Not weird, bro, but definitely a good way to help you persevere through the challenges. And yeah, man, you're inspiration, Danny. I found out lots about you. I mean, we're friends, but you know, I never knew you were a detective. You know. Yeah. And you're a great dude, and I wish you only the best, man. And you know, maybe the cancer is not good. It's going to be in the back of your head, but hopefully, as time goes on, you know, it can also be a good. You know, you can help other people through the journey. For
sure. Yeah, it's also cool, as you said. It's cool. I mean, you helped me a lot through. Even we don't talk on a daily basis together, but this is like it has to be the right person. You can have close people that talk to you every day, and it won't affect you anyhow positive. But you have like a talent to feel people out, especially me. And even we don't know each other very good, but it's just like you're a wise man, and you helped me a lot through this as well. You know, this is why I appreciate that talk also. It's just not like we're just talking shit. We're friends. We share stories. We share life moments. And I think it's an important thing, not just for the three of us. Now I know you, and we have like laughs, which I didn't have with other people. And this is like, maybe other people realize to fucking maybe talk more, or just to interact a little bit more with maybe different people, because you know what I mean? And I've learned a lot through you, and I've learned a lot on the way. And fuck, by the end of the day, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy I didn't pull any chicks being a detective. And
are you really happy about that, bro? Are you really happy about that? It would have been good just for the story.
Look,
just
one.
Look,
it sounded cool. I wanted to pull chicks. I never, ever started a conversation to a woman which I thought she's attractive. I'm too shy. I never, ever did that in my life. So I had girlfriends that said like, dude, I thought you were gay because you're fucking sitting right next to me and it's so clear that we should kiss for fucking 3 weeks now. You come to my place every night and you sit there and you play with a radio-controlled dragon at age 45. What the fuck? Till they fucking grab me and French kiss the shit out of me. But I wouldn't do a thing. I respect the women too much and I'm kind of raised like that. I'm like, even if it sounds cool, I never really went to a woman who's like, hey, whatever. I couldn't even pick a line to tell you want to drink. Fuck, you know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, even if I will be detective again, I won't get any chicks. I'll let that be. Yeah.
Nick, next time you just gotta say, hey, come jump on the back of my motorbike, girl. I'll give you a good old ride around. You'd rock anyone, any girl's world, man.
No, it was just cheesy. Fuck off. I don't know. It's just like, I don't know how to, I don't know. I think it's a good thing because I stayed out of trouble a lot. I never did really one night stands or like being, you know, another good guy or disrespectful. I never did that, which is a good thing. I think if I could go, hey, what's up? I'm Detective D. And then we would make out, I wouldn't feel comfortable with it, you know. So it's good how it is. And we just leave it like that.
Oh, Mike, have you got anything else for Danny?
I got a million things, but let's cut it there. His hour's up. Danny.
Hour's up?
Yeah.
Hey, thank you guys so very much, man. I really, really, really appreciate that talk. Fuck, whenever you feel like, let's do it again. Maybe if people say like, we want to hear more, I will be totally down to tell more life stories. If not, good, so be it. We had a solid talk. It felt good. Very appreciated.
Dude, we appreciate having you on. And I fucking love your work. It is.
Thanks a lot, man.
This is badass. It's so cool. I love it, man. Keep crushing, dude.
I'm at it for sure. For sure.
Thank you so much, Danny. Cheers, brother.
Thank you guys for everything. You have a good night. Thank you guys.
You too.